Can we compare Russia and Ukraine with India and Pakistan when one country claims the other country does not deserve to exist? Well, yeah, that's exactly what's happening with Russia and Ukraine also. But anyway, apart from what I just said, let's take a look at what has really happened in the world in the last 2 months. Number one, President Zelensky goes to Washington D.C. to meet the President Donald Trump. They have a meeting in front of the American media where basically Donald Trump had to give him a mouthful and also told him in plain simple words saying you should take a deal as per terms stipulated by Donald Trump and nobody else, because Ukraine does not have or hold any leverage or any cards as of now. Fast forward a few days later, what happens? What happens is basically Ukraine bombed Moscow with a few drones and then Russia retaliated as well.
A massive drone strike on Moscow this morning, leaving a trail of destruction in residential areas.
And then there was a meeting conducted in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, mediated by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman himself, where the American officials met the Ukrainian officials to discuss a peace deal. Now, on one hand, everyone says that Russia and America are basically not at all allies, they are not friendly adversaries as well. But right now it looks like Donald Trump is actually doing everything in his power to support Russia's cause and Russian terms. Whereas on the other side, Vladimir Putin ain't a joke either. He also wants a deal as per his terms and conditions. He wants a deal which is basically going to be suitable for his entire agenda. Alright, if you look at the history or the pattern of which Russia and Ukraine went into conflict is basically to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO so that the Americans don't place nuclear missiles, nuclear weapons in the Russian backyard called Ukraine. And if also Ukraine had joined NATO, it would have been a big security challenge for Vladimir Putin and Russia. This was one of the many reasons. The other reasons, we will not get there, but this is one of the main reasons, and he wants a guarantee that Ukraine will no longer be under protection of NATO, because the Russians and Ukrainians have a very historical relationship with each other. That's the reason why I gave you the example of India and Pakistan, because there was a time when Indians and Pakistanis were of the same country. They were ruled by the same British, and then we became separated. It's similar with Russia and Ukraine as well. But again, do not want to compare, do not want to trigger people by comparing these two situations to one. This is how I understood the situation. If you really disagree with me, comment down below. Now, let's come to what's also going to happen now in the future. Why does America want a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine? Or why is America pushing for it so aggressively? Well, the simple reason being that Americans do not want to waste their energy and time and resources in this conflict, because they know their biggest threat happens to be in India's backyard named China. They want to diversify everything and start focusing on Taiwan and China and start protecting Taiwan, because they know that the real threat in the world today for the Americans happen to be the Chinese. And second reason, why does America want a ceasefire badly? Ukraine is rich with natural resources. Ukraine is rich with even agricultural land. Now, with both these things combined, they know that the markets have got affected quite drastically because of this war. Russia is also rich with natural resources, and the world needs natural resources today. So if Russia and Ukraine is sorted, people can start trading with these countries again and start investing, especially American companies again, and they can actually make money out of this. And remember, with Donald Trump's entry into the White House in Washington D.C., he has actually not triggered a mass-scale world war as such, but there is an economic war that is happening right now. And the biggest weapon in the economic war happens to be the tariffs. Every country has been imposed tariffs, including India, China, Canada, Mexico, name the country, they are facing this trouble. And that's the reason why the most sentimental, the most emotional system of the world, that is the stock market, is reacting to it negatively. There's a mass sell-off happening, whether it's the crypto markets or whether it's mainstream markets. Everyone is reacting to the fact that there are tariffs being put. There is a lot of economic stability that's losing out, and there's a huge crux of a situation where today the world is seeing more economic borders than actually geopolitical borders. They are not declaring war on each other with guns or ammunition or even nuclear missiles. They are actually doing it using sheer economics, sheer money power, but still the Americans and the Chinese still have the upper hand in today's world because they are the two largest GDPs in the world. So this is the main reason why the Americans want a ceasefire. Why does Russia want a ceasefire? Because they want to end this conflict on their terms. And why does Ukraine want to continue this conflict? Because they feel if they sign this deal, they're going to lose out on a lot of stuff, including territory probably. The Ukrainians have been funded heavily from the Americans before Donald Trump, by the Europeans. Everyone has supported them in this conflict. And today, because of the tariff war and because of the situation in the world, the Ukrainians are forced to accept the ceasefire because the Europeans, on the other hand, are running out of resources to fund them because they are busy tackling the tariff situation with Americans. And the Americans do not want to fund this war anymore because now they want a return on their investment that they have done about 4 years back. This is the reality of the situation as it's unfolding right now. The conflicts might end. War, bloodbath will end. But the bloodbath in the markets are actually going to begin very, very soon, and it's already started, in fact. So that's why be very careful and be very, very, very mindful when it comes to where you're investing your money. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's the truth from historical patterns. When gold prices start going up, that means there's a situation happening. Because when gold prices, last time when it went up and had a large spike, the world saw a Great Depression. And that's when everything went down. And the last time this also spike happened, it was the 2008 financial crisis. So don't be very happy and don't be very grateful that the gold prices are going up, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So stay safe, stay safely invested as well in the markets today, because the situation might get a little more dire as we speak. That's it from me today. This is Rohit Kutpad signing off from another video on the Indian Millionaires channel. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and please follow us on Instagram as well for more such content. Thank you, goodbye, take care.